First of all, for ISO 14001. This international standard specifies the requirements for an environmental management system that an organization can use to enhance its environmental performance. ISO 14001 focuses on the proactive management of environmental aspects and address various factors including pollution prevention, resources efficiency, waste management, and compliance with applicable environmental regulations. It encourages organizations to identify and assess their environmental impacts, set objectives and targets for improvement, and implement measures to achieve those objectives. By implementing ISO 14001, organizations can contribute to the protection of an environment by reaping the benefits of improved environmental performance and operational efficiencies. Next, ISO 9001 is a standard that sets out the requirement for a quality management system. It helps business and organizations to be more efficient and improve customer satisfaction. ISO 9001 is applicable to organizations of all sizes and sectors including manufacturing, services, healthcare, education, and more. It can be tailored to suit the specific needs and context of each organization, enabling them to focus on areas of quality management that are most relevant to their operations. By implementing ISO 9001, organizations can establish robust quality systems, reduce errors and waste, increase operational efficiencies, and drive overall business success. The last ISO that we will discuss in this presentation is ISO 45001. It is a document that specifies requirements for an occupational health and safety management system. The primary objective of ISO 45001 is to help organizations manage occupational health and safety risks while promoting a safe and healthy working environment for employees and other stakeholders. The standard aims is to prevent work-related injuries, illness, and fatalities by identifying hazards, assessing risks, implementing controls, and continually improving safety performance. By implementing the standard, organizations can reduce workplace accidents and illness, enhance worker morale and productivity, comply with legal and regulatory requirements, and demonstrate a commitment to the health and safety of their employees and stakeholders.
The differences on these ISOs in clause 4, in subclause 4.1, understanding the external context, ISO 14001 focuses on environmental factors, ISO 9001 focuses on market and customer factors, while ISO 45001 focuses on legal and regulatory factors. In subclause 4.2, understanding the internal context, ISO 14001 focuses on organizational culture and values, ISO 9001 focuses on organizational structure and processes, and ISO 45001 focuses on organizational resources and capabilities. In subclause 4.3, understanding the needs and expectations of interested parties, ISO 14001 focuses on the needs and expectations of stakeholders who are affected by the organization's environmental performance, while ISO 9001 focuses on the needs and expectations of customers and other stakeholders who are affected by the organization's quality performance, and ISO 45001 focuses on the needs and expectations of employers and other stakeholders who are affected by the organization's occupational health and safety performance. While in 4.4, determining the scope of management system, ISO 14001 defines the activities, products, and services that are covered by the organization's environmental management system. ISO 9001 defines the activities, products, and services that are covered by the organization's quality management system. And lastly, ISO 45001 defines the activities, products, and services that are covered by the organization's occupational health and safety management system. Despite these differences, there are also some similarities between these three standards. For example, all three standards require organizations to identify and assess the risks and opportunities that could impact their ability to achieve their objective. Implement appropriate controls to mitigate the risks and exploit the opportunities. Monitor and review the effectiveness of their management system. In Clause 5, ISO 14001 focus on environmental management, ISO 9001 focus on quality management, and ISO 14501 focus on occupational health and safety management. The key requirements for ISO 14001 is establish, implement, and maintain an environmental management system that is aligned with overall business objective, and also prevent pollution, conserve resources, and reduce environmental impact. While in ISO 9001, it establish, implement, and maintain a quality management system that is aligned with overall business objective and ensure that products and services meet customer requirements and the processes are efficient and effective. While in ISO 45001, they establish, implement, and maintain an occupational health and safety management system that is aligned with overall business objective and prevent work-related injuries, illness, and incidents. Overall, Clause 5 of ISO 14001, ISO 9001, and ISO 45001 all focus on the importance of leadership and commitment from top management in the development and implementation of effective management system.
Next, Clause 6. So here is the key difference between Clause 6 of the three standards, which is ISO 14001, ISO 19001, and ISO 45001. So the difference on the focus of these three standards is ISO 40001 focusing on environmental management, while ISO 90001 focusing on quality management, and ISO 45001 focusing on occupational health and safety management. So the difference between the key requirement of these three standards is, for ISO 40001, it identifies the environmental aspects of the organization's activities, products, and service. Next, it assesses the significant environmental aspect. Next, it establishes and implements measures to control the significant environmental aspects. So, for the next standard, which is ISO 90001, it identifies the customer requirements, ensure the organization process are capable of meeting customer requirements, and monitor the control the process to ensure that they are effective. Next, for ISO 45001, the key requirements is it identifies the hazards and risks to workers' health and safety. Second, they assess the significant hazards and risks. Third, they establish and implement measures to control the significant hazards and risks. So, overall, Clause 6 of these three standards is all focusing on the importance of identifying and controlling the risk that could impact the organization's ability to meet its objective. Next, Clause 7. There's also the key difference between Clause 7 of these three standards. So first, ISO 14001 focusing on environmental management, while ISO 90001 focusing on quality management, and ISO 45001 focusing on occupational health and safety management. So there's also the difference of the key requirements between these three standards, which is for ISO 40001, it establishes objectives and targets for environmental performance. Second, they implement and operate processes to achieve objectives and targets. Third, they monitor and review environmental performance. Next, for ISO 19001, first, they establish quality objectives for relevant functions and levels. Second, they implement and operate processes to achieve quality objective. Third, they monitor and review the organization performance against quality objective. So, for ISO 45001, they establish objective and targets for occupational health and safety performance. Second, they implement and operate processes to achieve objective and targets. Third, they monitor and review occupational health and safety performance. So overall, Class 7 of these three standards is all focusing on the importance of setting objective and targets, implementing and operating processes to achieve those objectives and targets, and monitoring and reviewing performance against those objectives and targets.
For Class 8 of ISO 40001, ISO 9001, and also ISO 45001, all of them deal with the operation of an organization's management system. However, there are some key differences between the three classes. So for ISO 14001, it focuses on environmental aspects of an organization's operations. This includes identifying and controlling environmental risks, as well as minimizing the environmental impacts. So for ISO 9001, it focuses on the quality aspects of an organization's operations. This includes ensuring that the products and services meet customer requirements, as well as improving the organization's overall quality performance. So for ISO 45001, it focuses on the occupational health and safety aspects of an organization's operations. This includes identifying and also controlling hazards, as well as preventing accidents and injuries. Despite these differences, all these three classes share some common elements. These include planning, control, and monitoring. So the first one is planning. The organizations, they must plan their operations in a way that takes into account environmental, quality, and occupational health and safety risks. The second one is control. So the organizations must implement controls to ensure that their operations are conducted in a manner that complies with their management system requirements. For monitoring, the organizations must monitor their operations to ensure that they are effective in controlling risks and minimizing impacts. For Class 9, this is the table that summarizes the key differences between Class 9 of these three standards. For ISO 14001, it focuses on the environmental management. So the key requirements are monitoring and measuring the environmental performance, identify and evaluate significant environmental aspects, and also take appropriate action to reduce environmental impacts. For ISO 9001, it focuses on the quality management. For the requirements, it monitor and measure processes and products. Second one is identify and evaluate customer requirements. And third one is take appropriate action to improve quality. For ISO 45001, it focuses on occupational health and safety management. So the key requirements for this is monitor and measure the occupational health and safety performance, and then identify and evaluate risks to employees' health and safety. The last one is take appropriate action to reduce this risk. In addition to these differences, these are also some similarities between the three standards in Class 9. So for example, all the three standards require the organizations to establish procedures for monitoring and measuring performance. Second one is analyze and evaluate the results of monitoring and measurement. The third one is take appropriate action to improve performance. And lastly, keep documented information on the results of monitoring and measurement.
So for the clause 10, which is stand for improvement, we can see the key requirement for 3 ISO, which is ISO 14001, ISO 9001, and ISO 45001. For the ISO 14001, the key requirement is to identify and assess environmental aspect, establish objective and target to reduce environmental impacts, implement and maintain a management system to achieve these objectives and targets. For ISO 9001, the key requirement is to establish a quality management system that includes processes for planning, controlling, and improving the quality of the product and services. For ISO 45001, the key requirement is to identify and assess risk to employees, health and safety, establish objective and target to reduce this risk, implement and maintain a management system to achieve this objective and target. So, we can conclude that ISO 14001 focus on environmental management, while ISO 9001 focus on quality management, and ISO 45001 focus on occupational health and safety management. And for clause 10, the ISO shares same similarities, which is they promote a culture of continual improvement within organization. This involves setting objective, implementing corrective, and preventing action, learning from experience, and striving for ongoing enhancement of processes and performance.